Okay, now let's just talk about it. Okay, we've got this recount thing. We'll wait on this for a little bit so that people can start, coming into the live show. But let's just talk about what happened with this clip with Andy No to start things off. So Andy No posted. You may know him. He's a journalist. He's on Twitter. He posted this clip where there's this guy, seems to be a Trump supporter, and someone comes up behind him and sucker punches him from behind, just knocking him out to the ground. And then some people start kicking his face, like kicking him in the head. They pick him up, and this dude's gone, man. He's just like out of it. He's bleeding. And then all of a sudden, Andy No starts trending on Twitter because these leftists were like, show the full clip. You didn't show the full clip. And so then people start sharing this longer version that shows this guy who got sucker punched walking up to the leftists and the guy with the bullhorn and swinging at him and shoving him, saying, see, he started the fight. And you see, that wasn't even the full clip either. The full clip was that a couple guys tried leaving and the cops wouldn't let them. So they were forced to walk through the crowd, and the crowd harassed and swung at them and shoved them and attacked them for like a couple blocks. It's like one really long block. You can see this video. And these guys are even begging, like, please, like, we're not doing it. We're trying to leave. Doesn't matter. They're getting up in their space. They're hitting them, shoving them. Finally, they turn a corner. This guy came and started defending people, it would seem. I'll ask you, like, if that makes sense. Because I watched the full thing from start to finish. But this is what happens. Andy No posts this clip saying, dude, this guy got sucker punched. The left claims he's purposefully taking it out of context when I think he was just trying to highlight the sucker punch. Then they only show an out of context clip, not explaining why it was this guy confronted this group. But it seems like this guy was trying to defend people who were being attacked. Is that true? Is that?
Yeah. So basically just what happened, Tim, is, the regular event happened. It was, peaceful. Like Jack was saying, it was thousands of people there. I mean, I'm guessing, I would say maybe like 500,000. And
really?
Yeah, it was a lot.
No, Jack's saying no.
I mean,
I'm not an expert on this.
Me neither. I'm not an expert, but it was more than 100,000 people that I would say. Started off the event, regular people marching, showing their support for Trump, and around 2 or 3, I call this journalistic instinct. I said I should probably make my way down to Black Lives Matter Plaza, because if there's anything that's going to happen, it's going to happen at that plaza. Soon as I arrived at the plaza, I filmed this video where what originally caught my attention was it's a family that was supporting Trump. They had like their Trump gear on. They're walking through the Black Lives Matter Plaza. As they're walking through, I was speaking to another reporter, but what caught my attention about the family was that their daughter had her head down and she was really in distress. She was crying and she was shaking. So I was like, okay, hold on. So I turned my camera on and focused on her. And as soon as I did that, these Black Lives Matter supporters start approaching the family, yelling at them. That's when the mom grabs her daughter and pulls her in close. And basically a huge clash happened. Then one of the Black Lives Matter supporters, they push the dad onto that daughter. So that she like hits this concrete slab that was there. She's crying. It was, it was an emotional scene. It was even tough as a reporter to document that because there were kids involved. So originally what the cops did then after that event was they said, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to shut off every street into Black Lives Matter Plaza to stop the Trump supporters from colliding with the Black Lives Matter supporters, which originally was a great idea. But what happened was that these Trump supporters then couldn't get through to their hotel. So then what I did is I walk up to a police line. This is on I and 16th Street on Black Lives Matter Plaza. And the guy's name is Christopher, now that I found out. He actually ended up DMing me on Twitter. Him and his wife and I believe a couple other of his people in his group are begging the cops, please let us through. And before they even walk up to the police line, they were already getting harassed. They walk up to the police line. The police don't let them through, and he says, "No, you got to go around." As soon as the police, turn them around, they get attacked. As they're getting attacked, the police line is just looking at them, letting this happen. That's when then I filmed the African American female with the orange shower cap or bonnet, whatever you want to call it. She punches a dude from the behind. These people were scared for their lives. They kept saying like, "Look, we just want to get back to our hotel." So they're getting attacked. And then that's when they kind of walk down the street. And then that's when we see that gentleman with this long black shirt on, orange writing. He like comes in and kind of like tries to defend this group. That's when we see him take the microphone away. Then he like pushes that guy on the ground. I believe he like even stepped on his head. And then that's when the group kind of closed in on him. And at this time, still with all this commotion, police are not stepping in. Then the guy gets sucker punched by it was the African American gentleman with the Trump Pence out now sign. The guy gets knocked out. Then another individual comes in and takes 3 steps on his head. Then they finally picked him up and then take him to the police line. Then the police get involved. So it was just like a hectic situation. I think what people didn't understand, maybe who weren't there, and the whole out of context thing, is that these Trump supporters were getting attacked on their way to their hotel. They were literally just minding their business. They were literally pleading with the police if they could be let through, and the police basically from my perspective, they failed these people because they didn't even, not only did they point them to the wrong direction, but at least escort these people to their hotel. I mean, these police are from D.C. It's no secret what's going on in the political atmosphere. But Tim, I think it was just a hectic situation. I think people don't understand the full.
You saw the response to Andy No's tweet, though, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Is it fair to say that the left response with a short clip was also out of context?
It was also out of context. I think what the left doesn't understand is, let's say that guy comes in and pushes his man in the microphone. It still doesn't excuse you to literally brutally knock out this guy, then stomp on his head.
He kicked some dude in the head too, right?
Yeah.
So
He took on the whole mob. He fought a bunch of guys. He swung and went
Yeah.
into the crowd and back and out and back and out again.
And look, I don't know this for sure, but from just being there, I'm assuming that guy saw those people getting attacked, saw that they were being ganged up on, saw that they were ripping the Trump flag, and I'm assuming he just got sick of it and wanted it to step in. And,
or it seemed like he was protecting them. As he engaged with them, the family got away.
Yeah.
So you have a family, the police won't let them through. I think it's funny too. I think a lot of Trump supporters, people who don't live in big cities, don't realize how police are going to treat you, and they think they can walk up to the cops and be like, "Howdy, officer, my hotel's right there," and the cop says, "I don't care, get out of my face." Right. In fact, I'm sure some of these people get a rude awakening with the cops even just shoving them or saying "shut up" or not even responding to them, because if you're from a city, you probably get it. If you're in a protest, cops going to be like, "Don't care at all." Those cops don't know who the protesters are. They don't know who the Trump supporters are. They don't know what they're protesting. They don't know what they're supporting. Don't care. Got orders? Nobody goes through. Done.
Yep.
You could be a journalist. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I watched them arrest a guy in a suit at Occupy Wall Street who was walking out of a bodega with an orange Fanta. It was like a famous story that happened. He walks out and there's a crowd of protesters and he's like wearing a suit and he's all just like, "Oh, this is crazy." They arrest him and he's freaking out like, "What's going on?" Apparently he showed up to court screaming about how he was at work, went outside to go grab a soda from the bodega, and then the cops arrested him, even though he's clearly not a protester. So
I have some extra color on that story. So I was down in Black Lives Matter. I was down there. My job that day was to record, but also scout. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go on the fringes, be up in front, and just see where Antifa was going to be, what the plan was, how and when they were going to maybe assault people. And I had been tweeting for days beforehand. Safety alert. Please stay in the suburbs. Please at night go back to the suburbs. Arlington's very close. Jack Posobiec tweeted out. Ali Alexander did. We tried to warn people. We legitimately tried to warn people, and I think people got the message. I mean, that one tweet was seen by 500,000 times, so people saw it. So I went to Black Lives Matter Plaza after the march had gone from Freedom Plaza all the way down to Supreme Court. I walked all the way back, and the guy who knocked out this guy in question, I was there. He approached me. It must have been a half hour, an hour before that incident, and he was just insane.
the leftist guy?
The leftist guy who knocked the dude out at the end.
Registered sex offender.
A registered sex offender. He was insane. He was looking for people to assault. He came up to me like he was going to get me. I had a security guard with me that day. He just stepped in and pushed the guy back. Whoa. He kind of looked and he was like, "Yeah, maybe not." The Antifa guys that accosted me the previous week at the other riot where the cops saved me. They were there. They recognized me. They were all scheming, getting ready to see what they could do to me. But the cops did save me that one night. So it's kind of, but there was it was imminent and I was ganged up by 30 people and I was the only one there. But anyway, those people were there looking to assault people, looking to harass people, looking to hurt people, not looking to protest, not looking to make a chant. They were looking for violence. And this was a conversation we were having earlier. There's definitely BLM down there. There's definitely Antifa down there. There's definitely just sort of rando lefties down there. But there's also just random thugs. Yeah. Right.
People who just want violence.
People
Feels good.
Who just want violence. And that incident was horrible to see. And then did you see some lady stole his phone too at the very end? It was on film. Yeah. He's face down, blood coming out of his face, and the girl steals his phone.
So if I could add to him, basically, that guy gets knocked out. He gets taken to the cops. And then the commotion is still ongoing. We then basically wrap around the street, And then we see an elderly couple walking back to their hotel. And then that's when we see this group attack that couple, try to steal their Trump flag.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, big props to that older lady, because she held onto it. She didn't give it up. And then they were literally attacking this elderly couple. You could hear one of the guys yelling at them saying, "You're so lucky the cops are not here. I would, beat the F out of you," whatever. And it was just crazy to sit, being there and documenting that. And then one of the females who stole the phone, I believe she also had a taser. She was actually trying to tase Kalen from Scriber News, who was just on the show. She was trying to tase him unsuccessfully, thank God. And then basically everything was happening so fast. Me and Kalen kind of went to the side, and then we told the cops, "Hey, we have all the video footage of the assault. They were the ones responsible." So I do want to credit the DC police in this area, because they saw our footage right away and then made the arrest in real time in front of me and Kalen's faces. So they made the arrest of the individuals who were responsible for the assault. I believe they got 2 or 3 that are wanted, but the folks who were heavily involved, they arrested them there in real time. I believe the 2 males who were arrested did have weapons on them. The female had a taser. Then we found out that one of the men were already a registered sex offender. So thanks to Andy No for getting that information. But
cops said they found several guns as well.
But Tim, they recovered I think 7 to 10.
But it makes you think, Tim, that I don't want to. This is not me taking any credit or Kalen for us, but it's just if me and Kalen aren't there to pressure the cops to arrest these people, showing that we have video evidence and that we prove that we are credentialed media, these people would have got away and just would have kept doing that all night.
So these videos are crazy, man. You have this massive crowd of Trump supporters, but as night falls and the numbers start thinning out, then these leftists and just like Jack was saying, violent people looking for a fight get to come out and do whatever they want.
You can see the look in their eyes, too. Yeah. That guy in particular, I was chest to chest with him moments before he assaulted that guy. You could see it in their eyes. They're just crazed.
I went down
looking to hurt somebody.
I went down. I'll add to this. This is great. We were down there. Andreas and I went down, walked around. So we did the parade during the day, walked up and down, had lunch with some of the InfoWars people, and then we were out. It's starting to get dark. We went over to Black Lives Matter Plaza, and dude, it was like Tim's metaphor is great. It's you ever play a game where there's a horde mode, but it glitches and you get in the back room where the horde's waiting before they get released? Just a bunch of people standing there, not making noise, not saying anything. They're not protesting. Chilling. Dudes would be just sitting there looking at you with they're all black. And so it felt like a horde was about to be unleashed.
Yeah. I used to do I used to design games when I was younger. And when we would create, when you create bad guys, in a video game you're playing, right? A bad guy comes to the door and he runs at you. There's actually, you can't see it. Behind this is probably just a big empty space where they drop all of the various bad guys. And then they have a scripted cue where it's at this interval with this trigger, they come out. And if you ever glitch through it, they're all just standing there mindlessly doing nothing. And that's what Ian was describing. I was like, dude, sounds like you went into the back area before the horde mode started, and all these dudes just waiting there, not just getting ready to go.
It was a tweet from Jack Murphy that said, "All my MAGA friends, get out of DC. Nothing good is going to come of this." And I'm not MAGA, but I read that I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, then so Jack Posobiec too was sending tweets "Get out of the city, get out of the city."
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.